Look at this giant jungle mess of cables. Where do you start doing something like this? That's why I'm back here in the shop with the crew at Ray Outfitted, and today we're gonna be installing this ARB dual air compressor. Anybody know where any of these go? The reason behind me wanting to put an onboard air compressor inside of my van, believe it or not, I'm gonna blame you guys. I have a lot of 4x4 people that have been in my comments telling me, Chrome, you need rear lockers on your rear differential, Chrome, you need onboard air, and the list went on. And then of course that thought gets planted right here. And then every time I'm out in the backcountry driving down roads or getting into an area where I'm like, this might get a little bit sticky, I got your little suggestions in my brain. So I'm like, you know what? Since we decided to go with the larger KO2 tires and get our van a little bit more back road ready, we are going to be adding this bad boy to the van so I can air down my tires when I'm in the backcountry for multiple different reasons. So because I've never used one of these before, I'm just going by what people have told me all about it. And I even went into a 4x4 store and I talked to a girl there, which was like a 4x4 fanatic. And she had recommended that this dual ARB air compressor would be the way to go. She said the only thing this thing doesn't do is swim well. So as long as I don't bury my van in a huge lake, we're good to go. So having the ability to air down my tires will smoothen out my ride when I'm going down those super bumpy service roads or the forest roads or backcountry roads. And also when I'm getting into a mucky or stickier situation, it'll allow me to air right down and allow the tires to grab a little bit more traction and get us out. And this is what's gonna allow us to refill those tires after we drop the pressure in them. I also got another cool little toy. I picked up this little ARB tire deflator. It's got the pressure gauge and everything that I'm gonna need to deflate. It's super cool. So the question came up, where do I want the compressor mounted? I decided that I'm gonna do it on the passenger side of the van because nobody ever sits on this side except for my dog. So we're gonna be mounting it right down here on the floor, and he's gonna be putting a switch right on the dashboard here so I can turn it on and off. And it's also gonna be easy access because I can just open up the side door, click in the compressor hose, and come around and fill up all of my tires, making it, I don't know, it just kind of makes sense right there. What are you doing, Rainer?
Drilling holes. The kit came with this template so that we can actually drill out our holes properly for mounting. First step, pull off your valve cap. Second step, make sure the rod's pulled all the way back and thread onto your valve stem as far as it goes. Push forward, engage, and turn until you feel it drops all the way in. Then you unthread your valve core, which then you'll see it pushes back. Check your tire pressure. Currently we're at 48. And when you're at your desired pressure, we'll go down to 20. So now we're at 20 psi. Take the valve core, push it in, turn it till it stops. Just give it a little bit of a twist. Pull that back out and unscrew. Now we're going to inflate the tire. Take our air line, plug it into the compressor, take our tire chuck into the air line, turn on the compressor, and you come back to your tire, valve cap off, tire chuck, stopwatch, 35 psi. Do 30 seconds and then see. PSI in 30 seconds. It's pretty good.
How cool is that to be able to fill up your tires from your own van? In any kind of a situation, that means no more going to the gas station and putting in $1 or 50 cents in their little air machine, because you've got one right inside of your own home. Genius. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, that's great. I have an onboard air compressor inside of my van home. How insane is that, just to wrap your head around? It wasn't that long ago, maybe 1-2 years ago, that I was dreaming about having a home this tough, this back road and off-road ready. It's taken me some time, but we are here right now. So having the onboard air compressor allows me to get the most out of the BF Goodrich KO2 tires that I bought for the back of my van. Because without having the ability to air them down and air them back up, I'm barely putting those things to the test. So when I'm in a sticky situation, what I mean by sticky, it's maybe not sticky, but loose and soft, like sand or loose dirt or a muddy situation, airing down those bad boys is going to help that tread just open up and just bite into it and help push me out of those scenarios. And or those bumpy back roads won't be so anymore. I'll be able to go it'll feel a lot nicer and probably be a lot easier on my build inside without rocking and shaking the inside to all you know what. So I've slowly been adding recovery gear to my van. I'm not quite done with what I want to do when it comes to the recovery side of things. And if you're not into like backcountry or any off-road style stuff, what recovery means is the ability for you alone out there on the trail to recover your van from being stuck. So the first thing we did was the BF Goodrich KO2s. Second thing we did was the onboard air compressor. And let me show you a few other things that I did purchase to help me out in situations where I'm stuck. I showed you guys these in a video quick the other day. These are the Arb Tread Pros. I bought the Arb ones because the reviews were good and I liked the colors. Crazy, but I'm that kind of guy. I originally wanted to mount these onto my roof racks, but they actually fit inside of my Rhino rack carrier on the roof. So what this is for is if you happen to sink the back of your van or anything like that, you could wedge this down in the front of the tire and drive your van up and out of those scenarios. So I got 2 of them, so you can use them on both tires. If you're an off-roader, some off-road people say you need 2-3 sets of these things. I don't plan on throwing my van into too many nasty situations, because you got to remember the van that's parked behind me is my home. A shovel, this is pretty self-explanatory. And I also got myself a fairly long tow rope. So the reason for the tow strap is because if I'm ever stuck somewhere and I just can't recover myself, maybe another 4x4 will drive by out there and we can strap this to their vehicle and get me out. So it's always good to have something like this with you, because not all vehicles that may drive around your scenario will have one of these. So if you've got one, they may be able to recover you without having to call a big tow truck company to come way out into the backcountry to come get you. And the last thing you need to carry is a set of chains. No matter what the situation you're in, sometimes if you're stuck in an icy situation or in the snow, having chains will help get you out of some of the nastiest situations. And there's also some highways and places that you may travel where chains are mandatory. So having yourself a good set is a good idea, but make sure you buy the proper set for the tires that you do have. Don't just go online, buy yourself a set of chains, do a little bit of research and make sure you buy the proper size. And if you're ever out in a situation where you just can't get your van unstuck, I highly suggest keeping a good bottle of tequila with you, because this will get you through those tough times until someone can come out and help you out. Anyway, you guys, there's a few other things on my list, but a majority of the things that I've actually purchased for recovery stuff, like my chains, recovery boards, all those other kind of things, were suggested from you guys. So I want to thank you guys for always giving me your input, because I know I have some great people in front of us here that have a world of knowledge. So thank you guys for helping me out along the way. I love you guys. Take care. And if you get stuck, call me. I might be able to help you out, or at least I can bring you some tequila. Thanks for watching, you guys. And I want to thank my friends here at Ray Outfitted for helping me do some of these upgrades. You can follow them on their YouTube channel, and or their links to their business is linked down below. Thanks, guys. Take care. Good. Hit subscribe. See you guys.